Hi, Dave Hurwitz here with the absolute worst ever Mahler symphony cycle, a total abyss of wretchedness. Can you guess which one I have in mind? Well, I won't keep you in suspense. It's this one. Yevgeny Svetlanov. Yes, indeedy, with the USSR. No, it's not USSR. It was the USSR. It's now the Symphony Orchestra of the State Federation of Russia, or the Symphony Orchestra of the Russian State Federation. I don't know. I don't care. It's awful. Just awful. I mean, I was going to tell you about this earlier, but first I had to find the set because I thought, well, I was using it as a doorstop actually, but then I realized that you get this lovely box, and inside the box are these 14 very attractive soft drink coasters. I mean, well, no, they're not soft drink coasters. They're compact discs, but you could use them as soft drink coasters. So I figured I would find it in the kitchen with the other, appliances and apparatus and silverware and stuff. But eventually it turned up, and so now I get to tell you all about it. It's hard to describe just how bad these performances are because, sometimes hearing performances that are totally unsympathetic and unidiomatic can actually be fun, or maybe it can reveal something interesting about the piece. Nah, not here. Let me just give you an example from the booklet here. I can just give you an example of some timings just to show you how somnolescent and dreary this set is. So, the funeral march of the First Symphony, well, it's already a funeral march, right? Takes nearly 13 minutes. 13 minutes. Get it? Usually it takes 9 or 10. I mean, you can stretch it to 11 if you're really feeling like droopy. But 13 minutes? Oh my God, that's not a funeral march. That's a comatose march. Then, whoa, look at this, the finale of the Fourth Symphony. 11 and a half minutes. I think Bernstein gets through it in something like 8.5 or 9, Oh, and the soprano, Natalia Gerasimova. You have no idea. I mean, just how bad it can get until you've heard this woman sing the finale of the Mahler Fourth. Now, the Fifth Symphony, the Scherzo, the one that Mahler said will always be taken too quickly. Well, someone like Svetlanov must have been listening because he takes 20 minutes over it. That's not what Mahler had in mind, I have a feeling. Now, you get to the Sixth Symphony, and you think, well, there's a piece Svetlanov would do well because he was always into raw, crude, noisy, he might have some fun with it. The problem is, this is a performance of complete lack of energy, of impact. The timings are okay, but the performance is so slack and lacking in punch. I don't know what happened to these people. I really don't. It really was terrible. Oh, the seventh. Oh, look at this. The first Nachtmusik is 19 minutes, and the second one, oh my God, 16 minutes. It's practically an adagio all by itself. And then we get to the Eighth Symphony. The Eighth Symphony, I can't even begin to describe the Eighth Symphony. It's an hour and 25 minutes long, all right? The first movement is 25 minutes. The second movement is an hour. An hour, a whole hour with an excruciating lineup of soloists. And finally, the ninth. Well, this is where things perk up. He gets through the Rondo Burlesque in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, can you believe it? Now that's like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes faster than anybody else in the history of humanity. Just to hear the orchestra trying to hang on while they play it, I have to confess, that was fun. It really was. But, for the rest of it, ugh. Oh, and he does give you the Adagio of the 10th. 31 minutes. So that's why this takes 14 discs. And the bottom line is, but if you actually tried to get through it, you would probably be dead before it ended. I mean, it's just unlistenable. And what makes it even worse is that the playing is horrible. I mean, there are ensemble errors all over the place. The orchestra sounds like sounds like they're being tormented, which I think they are actually. They don't have any feel for the music, but they don't even get all the notes right. I mean, you literally never know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. And what makes it so much fun in its demented way is that the mistakes don't necessarily happen where you think they should. It's not like where the music is particularly difficult. It just seems as though they give up here and there and decided it wasn't worth bothering about. But there's no way to tell exactly when that's going to happen. And to put the icing on this particularly revolting cake, the sonics are just awful. Really, really low level, completely lacking in dynamic range. Whatever energy or impulse or color the music may have had, the engineers have quite conveniently sucked right out of it. So there's nothing left except an endless gray wasteland of musical nothingness. So if you really, really, really want a Mahler cycle that you can hate for the rest of your life and feel really good about it, Svetlanov is your guy. I mean, there's just not a single thing to admire. Not a thing. It's a complete debacle from any angle that you choose to look at it. So you heard it here first. Don't be fooled. Don't let anyone tell you it has interesting ideas or a different perspective. It's all just horrid. Completely and totally horrid. I always end these things with keep on listening, and I really do want you to keep on listening because there's so many other things that you can listen to. Just tons and tons of other things. You don't have to do this. I've kept it actually for a while because, like I said, it was useful as a household implement. But I can't say, in all honesty, that it's going to stick around for much longer because everything wears out eventually, even coasters and doorstops. Thank you, folks.